Hi, I'm Hunter from Fulton Music Lessons, and today's lesson will focus on how to read tabs for beginner guitar players. Tabs are a way for guitar players to read music, and they also work for ukulele and bass players as well. But if you already understand how to read tabs, then I would recommend skipping forward to some of my other, more difficult tab practices. This one's going to focus just on how to read tabs off of the sheet, put it onto your guitar, and we're going to go through a couple of beginner tab practices as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to have to do is name and number our strings. So if you follow along with me here, I've got string number 1, which is the E string, and it's closest to my lap. So I have string number 1, which is E, string number 2, which is B, string number 3, which is G, string number 4, which is D, string number 5, which is A, and string number 6, which is E. Okay, now that we have our strings named and numbered, we're going to need to talk about what frets are. So the frets are these little silver lines you see going up the guitar neck. The fret numbers actually start at 0, which would be your open string. So if I play my E, my 6th string, it's going to be 0. And then fret 1 would be right here. Fret 2, fret 3, 4, 5, and so on. Okay, so a helpful hint when you're trying to play your frets and you might be getting a little bit of a buzzing sound, or it might just sound a little off, something that you're going to want to do is make sure you're getting enough pressure on that string so the string is really making contact with the wood of the neck. Now you're also going to see quite a bit of space to play within a fret. This would be fret number 5, and I've got kind of from fret number 4 up to the line of fret number 5 to play within. A general rule that you're going to want to follow is try to get as close to that fret line as you can without being directly on top of it. That's going to give you a nice strong sound. Now a lot of guitars have these dots on the neck which are to help you find your fret number a little faster. A lot of guitars have them on fret number 3, 5, 7, and 9. And this double dot on number 12 is pretty important, but we'll talk about that later in this video. Our first tab practice is going to focus on frets 0, 3, and 5. So let's get started on that now. Okay, so tab practice number 1 is going to focus on one single string, and that's going to be string 4, which is the D string. And we're going to be focusing mainly on frets 0, 3, and 5. So if you take a look at the tab down below, the first line is going to be 0, 3, 5, 0, 3, 6, 5. And again, we're going to play that all on one string, which is the D string. So here's how it's going to sound. Here's my 0, my 3 on the D string, over to my 5 on the D string. So if I play that whole line together, here's what it's going to sound like. Okay, now I'll pull up the rest of the tab here. Now I'm going to do 0, 3, 5 again and finish it off with a 3, 0. So if I play that whole tab together, here's how it's going to sound. Okay, that was tab practice number 1, which was Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. Now we're going to look at tab practice number 2, which is going to be Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. We're going to do this practice on the A string only, which is string number 5. All right, and as you can see on the tab below, we're going to start on fret number 7 of the A string. So I can count up each fret, or I can just take a look at my dots. I got 3, 5, and 7. So I'm going to start right here on the A string on 7th fret. And here's how the whole practice is going to sound. And you can even try using a couple different fingers instead of just moving your index finger around, just like this. Okay, so there are a couple tab practices to get you started. I'll put them both up right now so you can take a screenshot and keep practicing them later. And right now we're just going to finish off by talking about what these fret numbers actually mean. Okay, so in order to understand what these fret numbers actually mean, we're going to need to know the musical alphabet. So let's pull that up for review right here real quick. Okay, now let's move all of these notes onto the guitar neck, and we'll use practice number 1 as an example to how all of this works. Okay, so our tab practice number 1 was using frets 0, 3, and 5, all on string number 4, which would be your D string. So now you can see on the highlighted notes on our guitar neck, fret 0 is going to be D, which makes sense because I'm playing open on the D string, and then I'm going to move over 3 frets, which is going to be my F, then over 2 more frets, which is going to be my G. So 0, 3, 5, or D, F, G. Okay, now try naming the notes through tab practice number 2, using the diagram below to help you out. Now I'll give you the first note so you know you're on the right track. So I'm going to be on string number 5, which is the A string, and on fret number 7. And so if I look at my diagram, I know that fret 7 of the A string is an E. So try doing the rest of them from there. Okay, now that you've had a minute to try that out, here are the answers below, and we're going to move on to the last thing of this video, which is talking about the importance of the double dots on fret number 12. Alright, so the 12th fret on the guitar is where all of the strings reach their octave. And so, as an example, if I started with the string number 1, which is our E string, and I played fret 0, I would run through the musical alphabet all the way up the E string to fret number 12, where I would have another E that is an octave higher than fret 0 of E. And that's going to be the case for all of the strings as we go up. So, as I reach fret number 12, I'm going to have E, B, G, D, A, and E. Obviously they sound a little bit higher than playing them like this. And just like I said, that's because they've reached their octave right up here on fret number 12. Now with that being said, if I played fret number 13 on the E string, that would be like playing fret number 1, but an octave all the way up. So I would have an F on fret number 13, an F sharp on fret number 14, and a G on fret number 15, just like I have a G on fret number 3. Okay, so hopefully this video is helpful in getting you to understand how to read tabs, knowing what the fret numbers mean, and giving you a couple of tab practices to get you started. You can check out some of my other more difficult tab practices once you're feeling comfortable. And if you have any questions, please comment below, or any topics you want me to cover as well. And thank you for watching.